Well, that didn't take very long. This line has literally just started and they're already giving us Shadow Freddy as a Jazwares Vault exclusive. Now, if you don't know what the Jazwares Vault is, it's basically their online store and they sell a lot of exclusive items there. And many times they're wrapping these up in like premium decorative packaging. But Shadow Freddy is here. I want to say thank you to Jazwares for actually sending me this sample to unbox and unveil for you guys. Now, this Shadow Freddy is a part of their new Endo series figures. I have already reviewed the Classic and Withered Freddy 2-pack. So if you haven't checked that out, be sure to give that a watch because that'll give you a good idea of what to expect from the rest of these characters. Now, the packaging looks pretty similar to our standard Endo series figures. It does have that Jazwares Vault Edition sticker. Now, the coloration to Freddy, just as I'm seeing this now, is so rich and vibrant. I'm very excited to actually see this out of the packaging. And it does come with the Endo Series 1 frame, and I believe he's supposed to have Endo Series 2, but this line has just started, so they're heavily going to invest within this. So don't be surprised if we see Endo 2 frames in the future and being able to put these pieces onto that. Now, it does come with those white beady eyes as well, which we can interchange from the classic look. And then, of course, it does come with Classic Freddy. If you watched my Withered Freddy video, then you know how extensive the articulation is to these Endo frames. I mean, essentially hinges, ball joints, and swivels everywhere you would expect one to be. I mean, they utilize this Endo frame for exactly what it was supposed to be, and that is holding up the suit and the suit pieces. I mean, this thing can get into some crazy poses. Now, obviously, when the suit is on, it is going to be a little bit more limited with like the range of motion, but that's to be expected because of how big the suit pieces are, but you can still get it in some incredible poses, which I will show you here in just a second. So virtually, you can take off the legs and you can dismantle this entire thing for the most part. I mean, this lower hip area has a ball joint, so we should be able to take that off as well. And now the hands and feet do come off as well. And they are in there pretty snug, I will add, which is a nice touch. So I haven't tried to take the shoulder joints out because I don't want to break it. But as far as I can tell, this is about as disassembled as you can get that Endoskeleton. Now you will notice that there is little hole cutouts throughout this entire Endo frame, and that's not just for aesthetic but actual functionality, because when you put the suit pieces on, there is like sculpted areas that are like basically pegs that go and seat into these little divots, and that helps keep the pieces in place without them like falling off the Endo frame. Now both these legs are pretty much identical, but the suit pieces that attach are going to be different. So if you put them on like in a different way, all you have to do is just basically just swivel the leg pieces around and it will fit in its designated area. Classic Freddy looks incredible. Not much more to add from what I've already said. I just overall love the appearance of this figure, being able to get a lot of good articulation from this. Now you can notice that it is a very clean figure. There's not much weathering whatsoever. Now the withered pieces do have a little bit more of a weathering feel to them, but nothing crazy over the top. I did customize one of these in a separate video and I went a little too heavy on it. You guys definitely let me know that, but applying a very small black wash to this will really make this figure pop. Now let's build Shadow Freddy. These pieces are going to be pretty much identical to the normal Withered Freddy version, as they should be. Obviously, the major differences is going to be that deep, rich purple color throughout. There is some slight weathering to the pieces, nothing crazy over the top. And then we have those piercing, dilated, white pupil eyes right there, which are incredible looking. I kind of want to see what this looks like if I just put these eyes just like resting in there, kind of like at the end of the game when you fail your night shift, just to see for like some background display. Okay, now I got to do it to this as well because this is actually what it would look like. Just got to make them eyes like red. Oh my. Freddy Fazbear. Overall, I love the pieces. I think they look fantastic, but I would have loved to have seen this ear be removable. Like if they put like a pin in there or something to be able to take this out. I mean, obviously cost-saving measures is to repurpose the withered pieces, and I get that. So at the end of the day, not a big deal. You could probably take some cutters right here, just snip that ear right off, and then even feed out some wires as well. So all in all, not a huge deal. All right, let's build a Shadow Freddy. So exactly the same concept from the rest of our Endo figures. Just snap everything in together. If you've built Withered Freddy, then you know what to expect with this. Everything is fitting nice and snug. Nothing feels loose, which is great. Love to see that. Let's put the jaw on right here. This is kind of tricky sometimes, but all you have to do is like line up that peg with this little notch right there, and it should just click just like so. Look at this. I just discovered this. So on these thigh pieces, there's an L right there, obviously for left, And this one says BL1, which I'm imagining represents back leg 1. But if you happen to get lost, you do have some little letters right there. Even here at like the shin area, I have the right leg, and then this one says FR2, so front right 2, I'm imagining is what that represents. And I'm just gonna follow that, see if they snap in like so. And that's it, perfect fit, baby, almost there. Now, I believe I said this in my last video, but it still remains true. I love just the concept of this because of the experience itself. Like building this figure, I just feel way more immersed into this character and just the line in general. So I really love this aspect. It's kind of like when you have like a building set, you know, and you spent like hours building it. Obviously that's not the case with this. I guess you could call it like the playability, you know, aspect, but just being able to get yourself immersed into the figure I think is really sweet. I mean, there's just so much that these figures offer. It's pretty unreal. Eyes fit in there nice and snug. Whenever I do this, I kind of feel like, you know, Darth Vader's helmet going on, you know, in the back to tank. Oh, that is already so insane looking. Oh my gosh. Man, those eyes and just the coloration of the purple make this figure look so good. I don't think the camera is accurately giving you what this purple looks like. I mean, it is a deep, dark purple in person, in hand. Now, when we see Shadow Freddy within FNAF 2, he's just sitting there, you know, and through the camera, everything looks a lot darker. So obviously I have all these studio lights on, so it's gonna look a little lighter here. But when you have this thing in hand, I mean, it is very rich looking. And immediately when I think of these withered pieces is just the capabilities of being able to take little DIY wires and have them string throughout the Endo suit. And you know, I'm gonna probably pick up another one of these so I can cut the ear off of it and then be able to feed some wires through that as well. Now, because this is more of a withered Freddy, it's gonna have naturally a little bit more range of motion here and there. So if I take the arms upwards just like so, because some of these suit pieces are like cut into and destroyed and just have been deteriorating, I'm gonna get a little bit more play and range of motion from those arms. So let's take this shoulder and bring this up this way. And I mean, look how much more I can get out of that. And that's just due to the withered effect to this figure, which I think this is where it really counts, is having extra poseability. I'm gonna wanna see this more on the withered pieces rather than just the classic animatronics. So here up at the leg, everything seems pretty comparable to our classic version. I should be able to spin this around as well. Yeah, everything is pretty much the same there, but we do have more of the withered effect here at like this left leg. So because of that, I can get a little bit more play moving forwards and backwards. But again, I mean, Shadow Freddy just is basically sitting there. It doesn't really chase after you. I would love to see a Shadow Bonnie figure. I mean, I could see it now just being an all black silhouette with glowing teeth and the glowing eyes. Can't wait for that. But same type of hip motion there, and then feet are all ball joints, so pretty much whatever your heart desires, you can spin this thing all the way around. Mouth opening and closing, and then I can spin the head around, no problem. Same exact things, just a little bit more range of motion here and there, depending on the withered pieces. Now, this is the iconic pose we see Shadow Freddy in, just kind of sitting there, and I had to try and recreate this. Now, I knew it wasn't gonna be perfect, obviously, because the suit pieces will get in contact with each other, but if you take some of them off at the thigh armor, you can recreate it a little bit closer, and that's what I did here. I took off those thigh pieces, and you can kind of unrestrict his seated movement. Now, I'm going one step further by completely removing the leg joints right there, as well as those upper thigh pieces. Now, it's not 100% perfect, but it still looks really good, and you can somewhat recreate that slouched over pose. Now, I don't think these figures were designed to be this drastic, but at the end of the day, you can still get there to some degree. Let's put those glow-in-the-dark eyes to the test. I'm filming this during the day, so this room isn't gonna get completely dark, but my closet will. Man, I knew these were gonna look good. Such a creepy effect in a pitch black room. And you know, that's such a small feature to add, glow-in-the-dark eyes, but man, does that add a little extra value. Now, by just having that little extra set of eyes, you can basically create your own ignited Freddy. Now, this is the custom that I worked on with my first Endo series figure. I applied a pretty heavy black wash all throughout, but this looks pretty awesome. I mean, this is basically all you need to create an ignited Freddy. I mean, you do need the Endo 2 frame, but all in all, this is pretty much it. Shadow Freddy Endo series figure, a Jazwares Vault exclusive. This line is going in such a good direction, and this is just the beginning. I mean, when I think about Nightmares coming out, Golden Freddy, Springtrap, I mean, it just seems like the opportunities are endless by the way they're approaching these Endo series figures. That deep purple color, I mean, you have to see it in person to really get an idea of what I'm talking about. The glow-in-the-dark eyes were incredible. Just a piercing pupil looking back at you. Now, this is a redeco of our Withered Freddy, so we don't have a removable ear or missing ear in general, which isn't that big of a deal because at the end of the day, if you want to, you could always cut that ear off. I mean, it shouldn't be very difficult whatsoever. And now there isn't much weathering to this figure. We know that. There's some dirt pieces here and there, but if you saw my customization video of that Withered Freddy, you know that even just a little bit goes a very long way. Now, we will be getting separate Endo frames at some point, so I can see an O2 frame being attached onto this Shadow Freddy, so that shouldn't be a big deal. But other than that, I mean, it's got great poseability. We know this. The withered pieces look incredible. And just the amount of customization that you can do with these figures, I mean, that is what brings a lot of value to this, which within that $30 price point, I think is a no-brainer, especially since you are getting some classic pieces as well. You can always use those for different, you know, spare parts in a back room or your own customization, you know, ignited Freddy. There's just so many possibilities. But I hope you enjoyed this unboxing and review. As soon as I can get my hands on Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, I will upload those to the channel, and anything else that you want to see. I feel pretty invested with this line, and it is a breath of fresh air. But if you did enjoy this unboxing and review, be sure to like and subscribe. Helps out the channel, lets me know that I'm doing a good job. Look forward to some more toy hunts and toy reviews, and make sure you connect with me on Instagram and TikTok to stay up to date when new things drop and stuff you won't see here on YouTube. Until then, collectors, I'll see y'all in the next video.